Profile. A fact-finding mission on matters of development by the Government Information Service.
Cooperation is as old as human society. People have always worked together to support shared goals and advance the common good. The modern cooperative emerged in the 1800s as a way for people to work together to achieve shared goals. During the 1920s and throughout the 1940s, cooperatives existed informally in Dominica. These took the form of kudme. It wasn't until 1945 that the efforts of groups within several communities to work and save together became recognized. The Welfare Department was then organized to facilitate the development of cooperatives on the island. To date, there are 41 active cooperative societies registered in Dominica.
As you know, cooperative is a collective body of people coming together.
A cooperative, as president of the St. John's Fisherfolk just stated, is a group of people acting together. However, to elaborate further, these people unite in an effort to meet the common needs and aspirations of its members, sharing ownership and making decisions democratically. Minister for Cooperatives, Honorable Gloria Shillingford, describes how the cooperative movement has assisted Dominica's economy since its inception.
Let me say that cooperatives play a tremendous role in the economy of Dominica. As a matter of fact, when I think about cooperatives, even before I was a minister, under which part of cooperatives fall, I always think about a kudme system, that looked after our parents or grandparents and the communities from which we all came, including myself. I remember the homes that were built, and good homes, just persons coming together, men going to the garden, getting the wood, sawed, and coming back down and building the homes together. They built the gardens together, large plots of land, because they felled trees together. And all of that were cooperatives. Probably they did not even know that there was a large word named cooperative, but just coming together as a community, as people, to do whatever it is and to help to develop the community, help develop themselves.
There are 3 levels of cooperatives: primary, secondary, and tertiary. A cooperative can also be classified by type. The main type of cooperatives operating in Dominica is financial and credit, also known as credit unions. Other types include agricultural, marketing and production, fisheries, consumer, service, and junior cooperatives.
We have a number of different cooperatives. For example, we have the financial cooperative, we have agricultural cooperative, we have industrial cooperative, and even junior cooperatives. We have a number of children belonging to savings union, and from that they are able later on to go on to be members of the larger cooperative, like for example the Cooperative Credit Union. And so even a number of study groups just coming together, forming themselves together, binding themselves together to be able to form themselves into a common body, everybody having the same belief and being able to share losses, to share gains together, and cooperating, I would say, for the further development.
Mariette Canaville, Cooperatives Registrar, believes that the cooperative movement is taking Dominica by storm. The financial cooperatives, she says, contributes considerably to the country's economy.
Cooperatives have played a significant role in Dominica's economy, and we can speak, first of all, as I said, of the financial cooperatives. They have changed the way things are done in Dominica, the whole financial business. For example, mortgages were at sky-high rates. The financial cooperatives, the credit unions, have forced the lowering of financial rates. And that is what cooperatives do. As a force, united as a force, you can determine prices in the market, you can determine interest rates, and that is what our financial cooperatives have done to us. A lot of people have taken loans to develop themselves, to buy lands, to have their own mortgage, and as a result, that has impacted significantly on our economy. Every Dominican, I can assure you, less than 99% of Dominicans are a member of a financial cooperative.
Non-financial cooperatives, while experiencing their own challenges, have exhibited their strength in numbers. Canaville explains further.
The non-financial cooperative, let us use an example. We have the essential oils and spices. They existed since the 1960s, producing, manufacturing bay oil and exporting to the United States. That's their main market. And we see $3 million coming in from this single cooperative. They employ 500 farmers. So you understand, here you have 500 farmers earning an income, right? That's the contribution. And also the economy coming into Dominica is the foreign exchange from the United States based on the purchase of it. Now, we have Believers Cooperative, who is a producer of virgin coconut oil. And this is in demand on the market. They cannot produce enough to supply the market locally and regionally. They have a lot of orders from overseas for this oil. We have, in addition, the Fisheries Cooperative. They're trying to get their products out of Dominica to sell regionally. Like they got markets in the French countries and St. Martin. But what we're doing now is to try to get them to be certified. There's specific certification that you must get to export food, and that is what they're working on right now. So the non-financial cooperatives are making a significant impact on the economy, as little as it is for some of them, but as big as it is for the essential oils and spices. And we're hoping after this internationally of cooperative that, and utilizing the $1 million that the government has given to us, we can expand, we can help them expand and grow into significant businesses to make additional or greater contribution to Dominica.
The United Nations General Assembly declared 2012 as the International Year of Cooperatives, highlighting the contribution of cooperatives to socio-economic development and, in particular, their impact on poverty reduction, employment generation, and social integration. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, on the occasion of the International Day of Cooperatives on the theme Youth, the Future of Cooperative Enterprise, on July 2nd, 2011, stated, and quote, "Through their distinctive focus on values, cooperatives have proven themselves a resilient and viable business model that can prosper even during difficult times. This success has helped prevent many families and communities from sliding into poverty." End quote. With the United Nations recognizing the significance of cooperatives to an economy, Canaville believes that type of recognition is proof that cooperatives, no matter how small, have created an impact.
The United Nations declared the year 2012 internationally of cooperative. They too have seen the significance that the significant contribution that cooperatives are making in various countries, the United States, India, China. All these countries are heavily dependent on cooperatives. The electricity, the rural electricity in the United States, you're talking that these are run by cooperatives. So we in Dominica, we need to explore more, because I can tell you that with unity, there is strength.
Cooperatives are not about making big profits for shareholders, but creating value for customers. This is what gives cooperatives a unique character, and this is also what influences its values and core principles. The Newtown Fisheries Cooperative embodies just that. It goes to great lengths to serve and protect the interest of all parties involved.
At Newtown Fisheries Cooperative, we take pride in our fish. We take pride in providing quality fish to our customers. Doesn't matter whether it's in season or out of season, our fish is always quality fish. What we do to ensure that we serve quality fish is, one, which is very important, to ensure that the fishermen that we buy fish from go out to sea with ice. That is a very important component. Fishermen must go out to sea with ice. Secondly, he must gut the fish on the sea and then put that fish on the ice. When the fish comes in to Newtown Fisheries, we use a thermometer where we can test the temperature, so we know if the fish has been sitting in ice from the time it has been caught, or whether it was just placed in ice after getting onto the shore. That is very important, because it means that if fish has guts in it, or if the fish is sitting on the sea for hours, that fish is already beginning to rot. And it means that it doesn't matter how long it stays in the freezer, if it's rotting, it's rotting. So freezing it does not deter the fish from being rotten. So we ensure that our fishermen go out to sea with ice. When the fish comes in, we also scrub the fish out of any slime and extra, we cut off the fins, any extra blood, and so we bathe our fish in salt water and ice to ensure that it stays fresh, and then our fish goes into the freezer.
These member owners share equally in the control of their cooperative. They meet at regular intervals, produce detailed reports, and elect directors amongst themselves. The directors in turn hire management to handle the day-to-day affairs of the cooperative in a way that serves the members' interests.
If we want to take it, usually that you find that the members would have their shares, would have a certain amount of shares, and then these shares will be utilized to run the society, and they get dividends at the end of the financial year.
Cooperative members invest in shares to provide capital for a strong and efficient operation. After money is set aside for operations and improvements and all bills are paid, profits are returned to co-op members. In a cooperative, those with similar needs act together and pool their resources together for the benefit of all members. But the returns are not just monetary. Members ensure that their cooperative business provides the best quality products and services at the lowest possible costs. They control the business through participation in their cooperative, and the principles learned extend far into their daily lives.
Now, in addition to selling to your cooperative, you also at the end of the year get what we call surplus. Because remember, cooperatives are not for profit, not for charity, but for service. So basically, you are servicing your members. You are not about maximizing profit from them. You understand? Yes. In cooperatives too, you have transparency. Cooperatives are set up in such a way that members are aware of what they're doing.
Cooperatives provide consumers with a distinct, value-based and community-owned and controlled alternative. Unlike the private, public or voluntary sectors, all cooperatives around the world are guided by the same 7 principles. These principles are voluntary and open membership, democratic member control, member economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. Bell and Fontaine describes how the Fontaine Fisheries Cooperative engages in the latter principle, concern for community.
We assist members and also non-members. There are a few non-members who have had to seek medical attention in Martinique, in Guadeloupe, and we have assisted them. Our members, every member who dies, the relative get some form of financial assistance from the cooperative. Yeah. If a member becomes incapacitated and he cannot do anything for himself, we assist him. We pay his utility bills for him. Yes, and it is our intention in the very near future to have a scholarship for one of the deserving members' children to attend the high school.
Education, training and information is another key principle that cooperative members pride themselves on. One such example is the Beekeepers Cooperative.
This year we did a training at London Dairy. We targeted the young people. And in a way I feel good about it. We went at the Portsmouth Secondary School. We went at Coles at Portsmouth. We took some people from the Layo area. We took some from Munchon area, River Civic side. We took some from Marigot. And we brought them together. Now that assistance, it came through, I must mention, with the initiative of ICA. You know, we lost some hives through the Amatia Dam disaster last year, July. We had some hives there and we lost everything. And ICA came to our assistance through the Canada Funds for Local Initiative. We were able to get some funding, and we decided we wanted to spread it. And especially during the summer holidays, we said we're not able to use everything for ourselves. We would do some training for young people, so we targeted the set of people I told you about. But the nice thing about it was, after we did the training, we actually gave them things. We gave them hives to start with, we gave them clothing for themselves, and we gave them some basic materials so they can have a positive start. I hope in the future that we can build on that, train more and give them more.
Cooperatives act together to build a better world. They are organized to improve bargaining power, reduce costs, obtain products or services otherwise unavailable, expand new and existing market opportunities, improve product or service quality, and/or increase income.
And in a cooperative, you find you could get the assistance of one another to help whenever you have certain things to do. In terms of even procuring materials for the membership, and you extend it to other people, they may not necessarily be members of the organization, but they are beekeepers and they want materials, then they can access it with us. And you find if you come together to bring in those things, it will be easier for you and cheaper for you than if you have to do it on your own. Then you find sometimes some people come from overseas, like Matnik, Marigaland. A person come, they tell you they're looking for about 200 gallons of honey. You may not have 200 gallons, but you can maybe go to 2 other beekeepers and you get that amount and you sell it. So that collective thing always bringing benefits to different people. And then when you're providing training, you do training, a lot of people benefit from the training, you know.
The government of Dominica has assisted cooperatives in several areas. Let's look at the fishing community in Dominica, for instance. In 2011, after the passage of Tropical Storm Ophelia, several vessels and fishing equipment were destroyed. Fishermen across the country were left devastated, unsure of how they were going to maintain their livelihood. That was until the Honorable Prime Minister addressed their plight. Bellon Fontaine, president of the Fontaine Fisheries Cooperative, experienced this firsthand and tells his story.
Ophelia destroyed the building at your back. There was a stone that went right in the building. A guy almost lost his life in the building. He had to be hanging on to the roof. Yeah, and it brought all where we are, it brought stones. And I was surprised to see the Prime Minister was in Fontaine on the Sunday after the thing. And the Prime Minister told us, well, estimate the damages for boat's engine. He told me make an estimate of what was damaged, and I think the same week he sent a backhoe to clear the thing, and I gave him an estimate, and it didn't take a month. All the fishermen got all their boats and their equipment back, and we want to thank the government, especially the Prime Minister, for such quick assistance. And not only that, he has a passion for fisheries. Yes, he was the one who told me to make an estimate to put fish boxes on every boat, because now he has given us the ice machine. He wants all fishermen to go out to bring quality fish.
Local cooperatives are faced with varying respective challenges. However, each cooperative is battling the singular obstacle of financing, although the cooperative movement's assets are said to be well over 400 million EC dollars. The Dominica Essential Oils and Spices Cooperative single-handedly contributes $3 million in sales per annum, bringing in foreign exchange to the country. Ghana Elua, manager of the Dominica Essential Oils and Spices Cooperative, says in a $10 billion industry, the company has not been able to expand as a result of financial limitations.
We have been in existence from 1964. And we have survived through many generations. And in presently, I mean, we are, as well as all the other cooperatives, plagued with a challenge. And our challenge now is seeking funds to enable us to diversify into all essential oils. We would position ourselves not only to be Dominica Essential Oils, but the mega cooperative of the Caribbean. Because we dominate the world in the production of bay, that's Dominica, and we can do much more. We operate within a $10 billion industry annually, and we haven't taken our rightful position in that industry. We only export 90 barrels of bay oil per year.
The Home Industries Cooperative Society dominated the local market in the early 90s, producing everything from cradles to coffins, until it claimed their market share. John Revere, production manager of that society, expounded further.
From 1996, our sales was very good, and we had expected to go into the million figure by 2001. But with Simpex coming in, our sales dropped by about, let us say, about 66% when Simpex came in. But presently we are now trying to build back on what we are doing.
Under the name brand Sunset Beds, the Home Industries Cooperative supplies furniture to courts.
At present we sell to courts. In fact, we sell beds to courts. And the beds we sell to courts is sold under the name brand Sunset Beds. The rest of our sales is from individuals island-wide.
Curtis Gordon of the Leather Goods Cooperative Society describes its major challenge.
We have the ability to produce mainly any type of shoes, cool shoes, dress shoes, sandal, slipper, coffin, the whole works. We have that ability. But one of our setbacks is in terms of pricing, because we're pricing because most of the raw material has to be imported. What is really local in what we're doing is mainly our labor, right? Like, for example, if I have to get leather, the leather, it comes from away, the buckles, the rivets and stuff. So there is a need for us to get some sort of working capital to be able to buy the necessary tools and to purchase bulk material to cut down.
The Roosevelt Skerritt-led administration recognizes the importance of the cooperative movement and its impact on Dominica's local economy, and has sought to address some of those challenges.
Government has played a significant role. They have established the cooperative division that promotes the cooperative spirit in Dominica, and also we are regulators of cooperatives. In addition, we give technical advice, we conduct training, And for new cooperatives who have registered, we give them a stipend to start off. Government this year, as you know, we're celebrating International Year of Cooperative, and government this year have allocated in their budget $1 million for the development of cooperative. This is a statement that the government has made. They're saying that we recognize the value of cooperatives. We recognize the contribution that cooperatives have made to our community, and as a result, we are giving non-financial cooperative this contribution that would allow them to grow.
In addition to government's contribution to the cooperative movement, foreign companies also support the efforts of cooperatives. In 2008, the Matya Dam disaster wiped out over 36 productive beehives and all livestock, poultry, vegetable, fruit and root crops belonging to the members of the Dominica Beekeepers Cooperative, which eventually brought their production in Layou Valley to a halt. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, was able to secure a $65,000 grant from the Canadian Fund for Local Initiative for the purchase of beekeeping equipment and materials. For a sector which has not been one of the more highly regarded, it is clear that the cooperative movement in Dominica has contributed in a grand and tangible way by creating employment and attracting financial contributions to oftentimes the less fortunate and rural communities across the country. Presently, Dominica has the most dynamic cooperative movement in the OECS.